Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Dynamite, or Might. I, Michael Cole, with Tony Schiavone and John Bradshaw Lakefield. And today on Power or Might, we're going to talk about what happened yesterday on NXT. We do know that Sonya Deville lost her match to Roman Reigns, and that Roman Reigns is still the world heavyweight fighter, Michael Cole says. You got that right, Tony Schiavone says. And Sonya Deville said yesterday on NXT that she's not going to be done fighting Roman Reigns, and she is going to get even with him. I'll tell you one thing right now, Michael and Tony. The way I look at it is, Roman Reigns is what you call Lord Lucky. You know? He had this really long, luck. In WWE, he had this long unbeaten streak that stretched from 2020 to at least 2023. Well, at least until 2024. And that was a long time. He could say he had the same thing during his time in WWE. His same time in the TWF. But I know Sonya Deville. And at the end of the day, she is not going to get, I know Sonya Deville. And she is not going to give up until she gets what she's owed. And if she thinks that means being the world heavyweight fighter, then by all means, she's going to get it. Well, here comes Sonya Deville now, coming to the ring now. Alright, Roman Reigns, you motherfucker, you son of a bitch. I want to get my world heavyweight winnings. You come out now, or I'm going to come and seek you. And unlike you, who were a former football player who became a wrestler, I was a former fighter that became a wrestler. So you know that I can beat the shit out of you in 2 ways in 1. And all you can do is only beat me up 1 or 2 ways. So come out here, Roman Reigns. And I don't think you're going to be hiding behind anyone these days. I don't think you have anyone to hide behind. So come on out. I want my world heavyweight winnings, and I want it now. Well, Michael Cole says, you ever hear that saying, be careful what you wish for, because you might get it? Well, I've heard of that saying, Tony Schiavone says, and we just hope that Sonya Deville is going to heed, over that warning. And here comes Roman Reigns coming in the ring now. Forgive me? You talking to me? Me, the head, the king, the highest leader, the overwatcher, the overlord, the world heavyweight fighter? Are you kidding me? Yeah, this gotta be some kind of stunt. See, I already beat you. And in your mind, you think that you can beat me. Now let's go talk about all the shit you did. Oh yeah, were you in UFC or was it BF? Oh yeah, I was a former football player Yeah, I play in the CLF. You know, that many folks think is not as good as the NFL or the UFL, but whatever. Yeah, I shift over to skilled wrestling. Where'd you come from? UFC? Or was it BF? Or some less known skilled fighting business out there? Let's see about all the shit we did. Sonya, when you were in WWE and on NXT, you didn't win any straps. When you went on Raw, SmackDown, you won nothing. When you're on Raw, you won nothing. You didn't do shit. You didn't win any straps. And you in TNA now, you didn't win nothing either. When I was in WWE, well, when I was on SmackDown and Raw and whatever, I was winning straps. I was smashing, stacking, and beating everyone. So I guess me and you are going to have another match. But keep in mind, I'm going to smash you, stack you, and beat you like I did yesterday on NXT. And some folks still don't know what the NXT name stands for. Well, it looks like Roman Reigns is going to be fighting Sonya Deville for the World Heavyweight winnings. You know? And we also have to be worried about, is Braun Steiner or Braun Breaker going to do something? Alright, Roman Reigns. Alright, Sonya Deville. You want to fight again? Well, alright, here's how it goes. It's going to be Sonya Deville fighting Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight the World Heavyweight winnings. And this match will happen now. Well, we just heard from Autolycus, the King of Thieves, and the main wicker of the Toy Wrestling Gathering. Michael Cole says, this match is going to happen. This match is for the World Heavyweight winnings. First, he is Sonya Deville. And he is the World Heavyweight fighter, Roman Reigns. Ding-ding-ding. Sonya Deville just knocked down Roman Reigns with a kick. Sonya Deville, who truthfully, it's true, she didn't win no straps in WWE or in TNA, Michael Cole says. Well, Tony Schiavone says it didn't mean Sonya Deville did not have the skill for it. We all know that. She does got the skill, Tony Schiavone said. Sonya Deville has been overlooked by everyone in WWE and everyone in TNA. And sooner or later, she's going to win a strap. She'll win it here in the TWF and make up for not winning one in WWE or TNA. Sonya Deville coming back right now. Roman Reigns. Overhand strike. Down went Sonya Deville, Michael Cole says. Here it comes, Tony Schiavone says. The spear. You know, they're going to call him Big Match Roman. You know, he was having big matches, at least for, you know, a man who got over, but got over late. But I don't think he's going to beat Sonya Deville, because a former football player shift wrestler can't beat a former fighter shift wrestler. 1, 2. One, two, oh, ding-ding-ding. That's Braun Breaker. That's Braun Steiner. He's back again. Ding-ding-ding. Braun Steiner. He's just beating up on Roman Reigns. Sonya Deville's like, you made me lose my match. You son of a bitch. I have dibs on the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, look out. Roman Reigns just took down Braun Steiner. And also, Sonya Deville just knocked Roman Reigns down. Fuck this! Sonya Deville, the match has been thrown out. The winner of this match, of a throw out, and still World Heavyweight Fighter, Roman Reigns. Well, Roman Reigns is still shit. Well, oh, come on, shut up! And Roman Reigns is still the World Heavyweight Fighter here in the toy wrestling gathering, Michael Cole says. Yeah, the match was thrown out, Tony Schiavone says, due to Braun Steiner doing whatever he was doing. You know, Michael Cole says. Well, I can tell you what, I'm going to tell you right now, you know, I'm going to tell you right now, Michael Cole says, that I'll tell you right now, John Bradshaw Lakefield says, now it's going to make it even harder for Autolycus now. Because at the end of the day, Autolycus, fuck. You know, at the end of the day, Autolycus is now going to have to make another match, you know, instead of making one. John Bradshaw Lakefield says. And I think it's sad that match got thrown out. Well, speaking of that, I believe we're going to have, speaking of that right now, I believe we're going to have, you know, Renee Young, and she's going to be talking with Autolycus, the King of Thieves, and the first Wicker of the Toy Wrestling Gathering. And up. Thank you, Michael Cole and Tony Schiavone. I'm going to be talking with Autolycus, the King of Thieves and first Wicker of the Toy Wrestling Gathering. Alright, Autolycus. What we just saw Braun Steiner break up a good match between Roman Reigns and Sonya Deville. Well, Renee Young, after seeing that happen, I will make my choosing that tomorrow on Thursday Night Impact or Hit, we will see Roman Reigns fight Braun Steiner, fight Sonya Deville for the World Heavyweight winnings. That is the match that will happen tomorrow on Thursday Night Impact or Hit. Do you think that Roman Reigns will be happy to have another match? Do you think Braun Steiner and Sonya Deville will be happy? I do not know, Renee Young. But I can tell you this. It will be one great match we will see tomorrow on Thursday Night Impact or Hit. Stand up! Well, that's... Oh, fuck! Stand up! Well, that's my talk of Autolycus, the King of Thieves. Back to you, Michael Cole and Tony Schiavone. Well, thank you, Renee Young, for talking with Autolycus, the King of Thieves, and the main Wicker of the Toy Wrestling Gathering here today on Dynamite or Might. And that's all the time we got it for Dynamite or Might. I, Michael Cole, with Tony Schiavone and John Bradshaw Lakefield, we hope you like Dynamite or Might, and we'll see you tomorrow for Thursday Night Impact or Hit.